stand-up phone call where we go through the Scrum ceremonies in rapid order. Oh, I just said stand-up phone call, and I'm comfortably sitting down. I'll kick off and explain why I'm probably sitting down. So in the last week, I've hosted the world's first Scrum and hardware train-to-trainer class. 23 professional coaches and trainers in Scrum from around the world flew into the WikiSpeed Linwood, Washington, United States shop and the training space above, where we spent 2 days working out the best we're learning together on training Scrum teams and coaching Scrum teams for hardware applications. That was Monday and Tuesday. Then Wednesday, yesterday, we went to Boeing Aircraft and worked with the 777 flight test team to deploy Scrum more effectively. They'd already been experimenting with it. And they were the most overcoached team ever. 23 of the world's top international and domestic, about 50-50 split. Trainers and coaches in the room for a team of, I think there was 4  777 flight test teams. And they loved it. They were rolling with awesome. Then today, the first day of a certified Scrum Master class for hardware teams. There's already talk of having a Scrum and hardware conference, location to be determined, likely in Colorado, but possibly in Germany, and half the attendees were international. So, there's no central nexus to help spin up what Team WikiSpeed is experimenting with even more globally. Folks shared stories about the clients they're working with already, and it was Airbus, GE, Boeing, several medical companies, including GE Healthcare, and also GE Fastworks for home appliances. And then also these teams often included software components too, so it's hardware and software. John Deere, the examples that folks might be familiar with that I've worked with, Mission Bell Winery, et cetera, et cetera. And the scope of this work is just bigger than I think any of us had realized. It's actually already quite widely spread already. And so folks are now refining how they do it. Tonight in the shop, there are 31 people there right now doing work, and we're expecting another 11 more from Bellevue Community College, folks who are potential interns who are coming to take a look and get hands-on for an evening to decide if they want to be spring semester interns at WikiSpeed. We're building a new micro house mold out of scrap parts from Team WikiSpeed's card building process for Camp Unity's homeless community, so another micro house for them. We have just updated the suspension on car number 8. There is an updated ignition extension on car number 7. Car number 7 had an updated ignition and security system put in yesterday. So velocity is high because there's a lot of people. That's what 3 of the 7 teams are doing. There's currently 7 teams, and my daughter is being adorable right now. Yeah, sorry, I saw my wife. Yeah, I dig it. Sorry. So there's 5 more teams building stuff, getting modules done. And the micro house mold, I think, is particularly exciting. I'll be jazzed to send the demo video of that out tonight. It's stackable, it's quite strong, and it's all scrap material from the automotive building process. So essentially, it helps WikiSpeed as opposed to being any expense, because we'd have to pay to dispose of that material anyway, and it's making houses for the involuntarily homeless. I'm pretty pumped. So that also touches on what I hope to get to next week, which is more micro houses working with this group. I hope to have car 7 driving around. We do have an electric vehicle prototype driving around. The demo video of that just was published yesterday, I think. So that's what one of the other teams working on. They've just launched, Tom Friend just launched the WikiSpeed and Education Electric Vehicle Initiative using that electric vehicle platform. That video advertisement for how educators get in touch with us should be going live tonight. And what else? Car number 8 is getting a parking brake, and maybe some more stuff to be determined. Blocking issues are finding out a way for these folks to stay engaged and productive after tomorrow night when they get on planes and head back to everywhere they came from. We'll have the Bellevue College interns potentially, if they pick us, but most of the Scrum and hardware the trainers will be off doing their work. So everyone is interested in staying as part of propellants of this initiative, both as Scrum trainers, but also as Team WikiSpeed making the world a better place. How to do that most effectively is an open question, and I'm absolutely interested. The CEO of the Scrum Alliance sent a message to me yesterday that he wants to have an executive breakfast with me in Orlando to talk about Scrum and hardware and how that propels the industry as a whole of project management. So it looks like it's being taken seriously by the mover-ish and shaker-ish there are in the world in this space, which is exciting to me, of course. Yeah, those are the blocks. That's what I've been involved in. Oh, there's also the 3D scanning team. They have scanned a headlight finally, which I've been working on for months. They rocked it out. I mean, a team of 5 dedicated for 4 hours can do a lot, and they did. And now they've updated the scanning rig. It's now a rolling server with updated graphics card and a scanner arm to roll around the shop, and they're creating more and more accurate scans of the mounting points of the headlight, and they have a backlog of more stuff to do. I'll show a demo video tonight, which will be more inclusive, because it's not all on the top of my head. But there's a lot happening right now. It all seems very positive. And I think the impediment is how to allow folks who want to stay engaged as they travel, which has always been Team WikiSpeed's model. Maybe we can level it up with what we're learning. With that, who'd like to go next?
I guess I'll go ahead and go. Okay, so last week at the Sunday build party, I disassembled and returned the drill press to the store for exchange. The actual store I purchased it at did not have, going to a different location. And the model that I got as the replacement was like a revision of the same model, so it wasn't as easy to get together, and the mount holes were different places. But I did get that back to the shop and got it assembled. I did not have time to test it. Okay, I also started looking at how that event manager plugin works and what options it'll give us, how we can use it for the innovation racing series. Looks fairly thorough from looking over it, fairly briefly. I sent out an email to the team, basically inviting them to use Slack for real-time communication and group messaging, removing blocks, questions, things like that. So I sent out an email to the Google group, just basically saying reply with your email address, and I'll invite you to that. I also spent some time learning a little bit more about how Slack work, how the channels work, how the settings for what's automatically added, some of the plugins that can be integrated with it for doing Hangouts and a bunch of other stuff. And then I approved a comment on the website. So that's what I got done last week. For next week at the build party, I should have time I have to work on Sunday, but I think I'll be done in time to get there for the build party. I want to go ahead and test that drill press. If it passes, I'll be drilling angle plates. If not, I will be disassembling it and exchanging it again. So that's just to be determined. And then I want to set up a test event in the event manager plugin, so to see how it displays on the website and what it looks like if it's usually user-friendly interface. And that's really all I got planned for next week at this point. And the only block I have is because of what I'm learning from trying to make these bolt together angle plates, is that for this first iteration, it definitely would have been faster and maybe less expensive to order the angle plates pre-drilled, water cut. So my question there, my block is, I know that that's something that the Linwood shop orders, some similar plates. So just who the provider is for that. And that wraps it up for me.
Mike will be next. What we have done this week is I got a fair bit of video edited and posted. I'm feeling pretty pumped. I got a call from UPS saying I should come pick up my suspension modules. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get there tomorrow. That's going to be Saturday. They will be in my garage by the weekend, though. And I got some testing done on the AC controller, not a whole lot. But I'm starting to run out of things that I can do with the setup that I've got. For next week, I will be unpacking my suspension modules. And I've got some 4-inch tube that I had wanted to use for the WikiSpeed car frame. I had pilfered some of it. I'm going to see if I have enough tube left to at least get the suspension bolted onto the frame. It may not be complete. It may not have all the cross members it's supposed to, but it should be in the general shape of a WikiSpeed car anyway. And I'm looking on Kijiji trying to find some rims and tires for my new suspension. I think that's probably about it. We'd like for next.
This is Lauren. I can go. Yeah, so this week I put a little bit of time into the 501c, and I mailed out, I just in the last couple of minutes mailed out a partial draft for Joe for a sanity check if Joe has time, whenever you have time, that is. Maybe I'll finish it and you'll okay. So yeah, and so I got that. I was looking at that, and I looked at Slack, but apparently there's a message from Michael for me on it, but I don't. If it's an individual message, I'm not seeing. I haven't figured out how to get an individual message, and for the next week, I hope to. I think I'm about a third of the way or a quarter of the way through what's left on the 501c, and so I hope to get that close to or finished. And blocks right now is I didn't write down the who the intern was who might the office administration person. Patrick, was it? Yeah. So I want to copy him in, and in case he's done anything, so he can merge it or whatever. So that's my stand-up.
Perfect and perfect. So I can say Patrick said he felt it was over his head, and I said, well, I mean, it's rules reading, and I'm sure we don't know the rules already, but he felt really uncomfortable. He bowed out. Now that said, I'm sure it'll still be a good idea to CC him because it might.
Yeah, I'll copy him in. I'll copy him in.
But,
yeah, another pair of. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, but he did make headway.
Another pair of eyes too.
Mm-hmm. Like a huge piece of bread. Is there anyone on the call with a stand-up who's not yet given? Perfect. So there was a blocking issue. If I thought I heard from Chris Wallace saying, where have we gotten our angle brackets cut? It's a company called West Coast Waterjet in Seattle, Washington. And they have cut angle. That said, if you ask Big Blue Saw really nicely, they may be willing to cut angle. It's two setup operations because they cut it like two flat parts, even though they're joined. They lay it down, bolt it in, cut it, flip it, bolt it again. Last time I talked to them about it, they said they won't do that. But if you ask really nicely, they might. They can. They have the capability. And you'd say, look, I'd pay for two cuts, and it'll still probably be cheaper. That said, West Coast Waterjet will, but they cost more than Big Blue Saw. And even though they're right here in Seattle, it took me longer to get the parts than from Big Blue Saw, which is in Tennessee. So I prefer Big Blue Saw, but last time I asked them about cutting angle, they said no, only flat parts. But if you describe that it's okay for them to flip them out, and they don't have to be perfectly positioned because they might have some inaccuracy when they flip it. By some, they're going to mean like 0.5 millimeter, and we're going to be like, that's totally fine. So, but they're used to creating great precision stuff. Then there was another one, Michael Wolchek. I think you had a question for me, and I have a comment for you, which is, I'm sure you already decided to order or not order the electric motor controller, because you asked me to know by the latest 2 weeks ago. I just now decided, yes, I want it. So if you haven't put the order in, I'm in. If you have, it's all right. I'll set up a second order later when I can. But yeah, sorry I'm so late to the party on that one. I did decide, yes, I do, just now, like 5 minutes before the call. I realized that was clearly the right thing to do. And then you may have had another comment for me, and then we should probably do retrospective. Okay, then retrospective it is. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy am I in my role? I'd say a very happy 9. I feel I can contribute easily and effectively to the team as a whole. For the team, for the company, I'd say an 11,000. I just can't believe how much interest this project it generated in the last week, and it's because of all of us. I happened to get to host it in Seattle, Washington, but it's the work we've all decided to put in for fun when we had time. It's been this interesting to an international project management community, and I've gotten to see that firsthand, how excited people seem to be right now. And sometimes I'm not aware of the effect this little project has globally. It's been completely obvious in the last 3 days. The Boeing execs, I knew they'd heard about us, but hearing them say it again yesterday just boggles my mind. So for the team, I'd say an 11,000. What would make this even better is if I can find a way to, yes, it's a car, it's a boo-boo. I have the best daughter ever. Is if I can find a way to better accelerate on block, help work with the folks who are passionate enough to spend time on this. Like, what have I done in the last month to make Chris Boss's life more awesome? Same with Lauren, same with Michael Wolchek, same with Rob Moorbacher, although I haven't rocked with them lately, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what would make me happier, if I can find a way to be more directly involved with the distributed team. Yeah, that'd make me happy in my tummy. Who would like to go next?
I can go. Okay, so yeah, definitely a 9 for me. I'm at least getting everything done on my backlog each week, and at least, going down a path that seems to be leading somewhere. So I'll definitely go with a 9. And 10 for the team, along with what Joe's saying. I'm amazed always. It seems like every week lately there's been more people joining the team, more people involved in a whole spectrum of projects. So that's super awesome. And I didn't write a process improvement down. I can still one kind of from last week that I didn't do. It's not very good, so I don't. But I think on the website there's a Who We Are page that, just glancing over, it's the information on it's probably at least 5 years old. So I don't know how we would go about it, but maybe updating the information on there with something a little more recent. That would be my only suggestion. So that's it for me.
Should we hear lecture for a stand-up from Pino, or are you ready for that, Pino?
Yeah, I think.
Hello, Pino.
Oh, he's using the chat, so he's having trouble with his internet connection.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's been connected and disconnected half a dozen times.
I think that's Tommaso, right? I believe. In the little picture.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, really? I thought the little name that came up was Pino. But...
It did.
Okay. Anyway, I guess I'll go. For myself, I'm going to give myself a 6 because I got some stuff done, but not much. And I'm going to go with a 9 for the team because things are happening at a ferocious rate. For process improvement, I'm not sure if this really qualifies as a process improvement. I'd like to get a little bit more information about the micro house project, so that when people, and they often do, email us questions, I don't even actually know where to point them to get more information or to join the group and do stuff. So if we could get a way to distribute that information, I think that would be awesome. Who would like to go next?
It's Lauren. Yeah, I'm giving myself a 5, which I'm very happy with, because I've been set aside some time. I worked for half an hour earlier in the week and half an hour tonight. And for the team, likewise a 10. And then I don't know if this is a process improvement, but I'm throwing it out there. I think there may be an urgent need to make micro factories proliferate so that people who don't have jobs can work in them. And because like here in Canada, we lost 40,000 with the drop in oil price, and the prior government's identification of Canada as totally a tar sands country. We've got big problems here. And it seems that there's a lot of planning and meetings going on here where they haven't been for many years. And underlying it is all that we have nothing but oil jobs for people. What else are they going to do? So I'm throwing it out there. That's kind of an urgent need to do things like micro factories and either being able to pay yourself out of proceeds or bartering or something like that. So that's it for me.
Fantastic and a half. This is where I think we would get to pick what process improvement we would do. Here are the options as I recall them. One is update our Who We Are page, which I did see in an email and I thought was brilliant, Chris Wallace, and I saw you'd also updated our WordPress version, which made me happy in my tummy. So that's a proposal, is update the Who We Are page. Another one is set up to produce a micro factory that we can send out, a factory in a box, a kit that we can send, and specifically see if we can send it to Canada. Wouldn't that be a useful use case? That's a proposal and a pretty powerful and bodacious one. Then another was, I had one, find a way to collaborate with folks more remotely. And was there a third? Was there a fourth, or are those the 3 potential process improvements?
I had suggested a little bit more information on the micro house.
Right, more information.
So we could distribute it, but that's not really a process improvement, I don't think.
Well, but it's a meaningful thing to do that we haven't done. Who is aware of a backlog plugin for Slack? Nobody yet? Yeah, there might not be one yet.
I don't know what it's called. In looking over the plugins, there's something that is sort of a task manager, and I believe it says it's used for distributed agile teams. I don't know what it looks like yet.
Okay. So. Okay. Then the process improvement I would suggest is trying that, and then I'd say what we'd put in it is update the Who We Are page, update the microhouse page with enough information that it's a real productive endpoint, so interested people can be referred there and they have enough information to do. And then we put a third that says make an MVP, a minimum viable product microfactory, and ship it to someone in Canada, whether that be Michael Wolchek, whether it be someone. But I'd ask that we put that in the backlog, because that's an effing good idea. Now, to bring that to ready, we'll need to make a plan of what that is, and that'll determine whether we actually can or not. But putting that in the backlog drives us to groom it to ready to see if we can. And if that can be made in Canada, that's even better. but we don't know what that is yet, right? So the process improvement I would beg is that, well, Chris, maybe you're the one who knows the most about it, but if you send me the link, I might be able to try to do it myself or somebody. But that the Slack, some type of backlog for Slack, we try to turn it on and populate it with those items. That would be the process improvements. We'd be done if that happened. And then we try to execute on those stories as a matter of course once they're in there. And then we decide if that becomes the de facto backlog of choice or not based on using it, right? Knowing how it works. But I'm using Slack for my work and the Scrum and hardware community now, and it seems to just completely make email outdated. I'm a fan of trying to just move there, like banning email in WikiSpeed and just doing it through Slack. It seems to be a much better experience so far. So we can get a backlog in there too. That might be really powerful. That's what I'll suggest. Does anyone have a modification or a counter proposal?
I would agree with that one, and I would just add that I have no problem adding to my backlog for next week, hopefully early on, to try to get that plugin integrated.
Awesome. Awesome. Others, modifications or counter proposals?
Sounds perfect as proposed.
Fantastic. Chris, let us know how we can take that on, support that, or use it as a test, any of the above, because yes, yes, and yes. That does conclude the required aspects of Scrum to run this company for another week. Awesomely awesome. Now is a useful time for open conversations. Lauren, especially if you have any input you need from me on the 501c3 form application or any of the above. I'm all in. Now's a good time.
Joe, I didn't get the mute taken off early enough, so I haven't ordered the controller. I will order it probably tomorrow, and we'll make it 2, so it should be a little bit less expensive for both of us.
Can they ship it to me directly so we don't have to deal with customs again? Because, oh my God.
Actually, I'm going to be down in Phoenix in March, so I will probably sit beside Paul and run it through a test suite, and then he'll ship it to you.
Oh,
And
that's the best. That is, yeah, of course, the best. You know, local acceptance testing before delivery. You can't have it, but. Okay,
and,
yes, I'm in. Let me know how to make the payment anytime. I'm in anytime. Just let me know. I'll ship a check or PayPal. PayPal's the best for me, so let me know if that's possible.
Okay. Lauren, you have something?
Yeah, Joe. Basically, it's what I said. It's there's a partial thing there. If you could look at 1 year the books versus what I've got, so I know I'm not missing something glaring. And
You're not, but I'll look.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I have to go now. But Michael, can you keep me posted on the date you're in Phoenix? Because we're thinking of going to Phoenix for too, so it'd be cool to be up there. And I got to go now. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, and Lauren, you're going to have to learn how to select a personal or a private message on Slack.
Yeah, I've got it up. I just didn't want to leave the meeting too long, but I'll look at it after the meeting. Thanks.
Okay. Joe, on that topic, when I went through your spreadsheet for the 501k, I don't see any of your payments for Mr. Moorbacher's shop or any of the stuff for the Winnipeg car. And I was personally knowing about those.
Yeah, any of those expenses? Yeah. God. Yeah.
And I looked for my suspension in the spreadsheet. It's not there either.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. How do I hear you. I'm not sure how to correct that.
I have absolutely no idea. I just thought it was important to mention it.
It is. It is. Yeah. Okay. Duly noted. I'm not sure how to act on that right now. I'll attempt to write it on a sticky. I'll put it in my personal Kanban on my phone after the call, and I'll ask my accountant. We have a tax filer for WikiSpeed, and she constructed those forms with all the data we had, and it was the best data we had. If those, I think it's a general category called business expense, and it's like a percentage of total stuff.
Oh,
And I think it's rolled into there, but maybe I can try to find it. I should look for those categories of expenses and see if they've been acknowledged. What I do know is that our expenses were more than income, right? Which makes sense.
Yep.
How I'm trying to run this as a nonprofit.
Yep.
So we haven't had a year with profit, which makes great sense the way we're investing in R&D. I think it's just in a expense category that's not split out by individual transaction, but I will investigate, or I'll try. I'll at least look at the thing and see if that makes me think of something to do that's better, because I'm new. I will attempt.
okay, well, and then I didn't see my suspension, like I know that I paid for it and it didn't show up as income, so.
Oh, well, hopefully it's in a larger income category. If it's not, that would actually be fraud, so I have to find that. Well, maybe it's not fraud, but it's something bad. Thank you, Michael Olchek. If the copy of the spreadsheet you have is writable, please just put those in some bright color. And I will try to rectify that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Dropbox is writable. I think it's still in read-only mode.
Okay. Okay, well, as a team, we will try to have the best books we can. And one day, I hope we can afford a full-time bookkeeper. Yes.
Chris, is Tommaso gonna join in with his stand-up or retrospective? I can't see his messages.
Okay, so yeah, I think he's muted. He said nothing to add, but he did. I just wanted to verify because I answered his question on the chat, but he just wanted to make sure that we had received the roll bar CAD, and I just let him know I saw that come through the forum this week, so I'm assuming that it's everybody else was able to see that. So.
No, I saw that as well. Okay. I don't know if Tommaso can hear, but I'm on my phone. It's not easy to type. If you could let him know that it's exactly my intent to build that car the way he's drawn it, to have as one of the Innovation Racing Series entrants, because I think it sends a good message of a lean and sporty build that's totally MVP. I mean, it's the kind of thing a high school could maybe pull off if they were really dedicated. I think it's amazing. I'm going to try to do that. So, yes, that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Awesome. Yeah, and he can hear us. So.
You're awesome, Tommaso. Totally awesome.
And thank you for staying up till like 3 in the morning. Anything else anybody wants to talk about?
I'm all set, my friend. Okay, I will finish this salad, and then I'll go to the shop, because there's 31 people there when I walked up, and I'm expecting 11 more. So we'll see.
I do want to add real quick, Joe. I'm totally bummed out. I did not get to participate in the train the trainer class. But like I said, if you do another one, just let me know it's coming, and I'll try to get the schedules to work out better.
Oh, absolutely and a half. We'll figure this out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's interest of doing one in Germany in August, but that's not anywhere even closer.
Right.
But to be determined. We'll figure something.
Excellent. All right.
Maybe we'll do one in Texas. Okay. I'm out, guys. Have the bestest day ever. Thanks for being awesome.
Good night, everybody.